episode 48 of This and That and What a Fuck. And in this one I'll be talking about some of the stuff in the Donbass and the EU and my favorite topic, global revolution. And I start in the Donbass. Savage striking. Ukrainian army strikes several 5-story buildings in Kulbyshevo, Zaporizhia, South Ukraine with HIMARS MLRS, completely destroying the last floor of one of their houses and killing at least 4 people, including 2 children and 1 2-year-old. And this is something else that the taxpayers of the EU and the US can be very happy and proud of themselves. And don't forget the UK taxpayers. They are financing this. And then there's this interesting thing. The Pope is ready to serve a memorial service at the Alley of Angels in Donetsk. His ideal vision is that he will come to Moscow and Donbass and go to Kiev to discuss ending the conflict, said the chairman of the World Union of Old Believers. And that Zelensky has had a lot to say about the Pope. Zelensky is of the opinion that he can instruct everybody in the world to do as he wish. And who gave him that authority? Bojo the clown from the UK and those idiots sitting in the shithouse in Washington. They have built this guy into some super person with a global authority. But from what I am seeing, his time is running out. And then there is this one. And this is also something that should make the US, UK and EU taxpayers smile broadly. A drone captured on video the moment of destruction of the UA warehouse with HIMARS missiles and shells. The UAV managed to capture on video the moment of the destruction of the ammunition depot for the American HIMARS MLRS and towed M777 howitzers. Good. Well done, boys. You have provided the global community with a nice fireworks display as they blow up your tax money. And then there's this response to that. As a result, the ammunition depot was successfully destroyed. This seriously complicated the issue of NATO weapons in the Nikolaev-Kravoy Rog direction. And then there's this. Ukrainian National Guardsmen who stayed on Zaporizhia nuclear power plant and continue guarding it jointly with the Russian troops apply for the Russian citizenship en masse. Vladimir Rogov, the vice governor of the Russian Civil and Military Administration of Zaporizhia Oblast, posted in his Telegram channel. With some of them have already been granted it, saying that those people remain loyal to their oath of allegiance to the Ukrainian people. Now, I don't see how that makes a lot of sense. But maybe they are correct, saying they're loyal to the people, not to the government. And then there's this one. Russian army seeks to minimize civilian casualties and not destroy settlements, which slows down the course of the special military operation in Ukraine. And there has been a lot of discussions about that. The West likes to tell the people that are stupid enough to believe the shit that they are being dished up, that the Russians are struggling in Ukraine. Correction, the Russians are very careful not to kill civilians and destroy infrastructure. And then we have this. Finally, Director General of International Atomic Energy Agency announced IAEA support and assistance mission to Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. They are finally on their way. But what really pissed me off about this whole mission is that they went in and went directly to Kiev and sat down with Zelensky. Obviously, to get the script, what they must read once they've been to Zaporizhia power plant. And then this is quite disturbing. The topic of mass graves discovered in the Donbass from the beginning of 2014 to the present day was not reflected in the UN report on human rights situation in Ukraine. Nobody cares about this question. After all, Russian people were killed, which means no one is interested. And I am sorry to say, this type of bias is going to cost that Zazis in the Ukraine a lot. And then there's this one. Mariupol, the first blocks of flats are ready for delivery in Mariupol. And there was a lot of commentators in that thread that had a lot of shit to talk. But this is the facts and the reality. And then there's this disturbing thing. At a stage, the Ukrainian propaganda machinery pushed this photograph out and said that it was a lot of Russians that was killed in the combat. And now that fake has been debunked. The news is fake. Sergei Ponomarev's picture shows the bodies of the school children who died in the 2004 Beslan school terrorist attack. And that is how Zelensky feeds the bullshit to those that are willing to swallow. And now we're in the EU. And this graph speaks for itself. Real wages in Germany. Collapsing living standards see Germany's real wages plunge 4.4% due to inflation, the lowest since the pandemic and the second lowest point in decades. Germany is going to struggle. Germans are going to suffer, but they deserve the suffering because of the leadership that they appointed, and those leaders are taking them down this route. I hope they are happy and proud of their leadership. And more from Germany. EU should abandon voting unanimity. And here comes the shit. And everybody accuses Putin that he's rebuilding the USSR. And meanwhile, the EU is a bloody USSR and a Western USSR type of shit. Look at this. Look at what this guy. The German Chancellor said Monday the bloc should consider making decisions by majority vote, not unanimously, as it would speed up EU resolutions. Yes, because the fuckers are being resisted by certain countries, and now they're going to neutralize those countries. This EU is a remake of the USSR, and it is getting more and more socialistic and communistic every day. Here it is. With this, Schulz what he wants here is to make it impossible for countries like Hungary and other EU members to veto certain things. And then we're on the global revolution. The Russian foreign minister emphasizes that Westerners may slow down the process of forming a multipolar world with their actions, but they cannot stop it. And that is the truth and the reality. But the West is spastically trying to retain their position. More from Lavrov. New regions of the world turn into locomotives of global economy, new centers of economic growth. China, India, Egypt, Turkey, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and African states become the pillars of the objectively forming world order. And that is something the West cannot stop. Now, here is we've got a little bit of green news. China. This is a cue for EV charging points as the government shuts down and rations energy supplies. By October in the UK, a 400-mile charge will cost £149 and a tank of petrol £50. Buyer's remorse. And he says, stop laughing in the back. And I am laughing. The guys are cruising to shit in their electric vehicles. And then there's this one. For those who think wind turbines are a good thing, reassess your wokeness and your climate change bullshit. You are fucked up. Look at the dead birds from that wind turbines. The turbines in the sea emits micro vibrations in foundations, destroying all life around it for kilometers. Also to be investigated, the wind turbine can't reproduce the energy put into its development and manufacturing. And that is extremely sobering. But will it get anywhere? No, it won't, because the WEF has got a solid grip on the media and the Western governments, and they will only say the things that the WEF approves. And then we've got this Ursula von der Crazy. This woman is going to be personally responsible for the EU citizens to have a horrific winter. EU to invest 300 billion euros in green energy as part of efforts to move away from Russian fossil energy resources. An emergency structural reform of Europe's electricity market is being prepared. Head of the Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. And that woman has got no fucking common sense. Talking about restructuring the European electricity system. She doesn't know what she's talking about. That thing has been built over how many years and generations? And she wants to change it. And where the fuck is this 300 billion euros gonna come from? Germany is fucked up. They were the biggest contributors to the EU purse. France is, let's not talk about France. Italy is bankrupt. Spain is bankrupt. The UK, the UK is out of the EU, fortunately, because they're also bankrupt. I don't know where she thinks, and this is what you get when you put woke idiots in charge of your life. And then we get to Hungary, the only country currently in the EU with common sense. We're not even willing to negotiate any sanctions on energy, be it oil or gas. Adding that the courage of the Hungarian government has helped Budapest to withstand pressure from Brussels. There is no security of energy supply to Europe without Russian sources, arguing that Russian gas cannot be replaced in the foreseeable future. And Hungary will survive, but their neighbors is going to struggle. And more from Hungary. The foreign minister added that the largely misguided sanctions response to Russia's military campaign is one of the factors driving up inflation and contributing to global recession. And then there's more. We're Hungary, not even willing to negotiate, says Hungarian Foreign Minister Cesarto, about imposing further sanctions on the Russian oil and gas, adding that there is no security of energy supply to Europe without using sources from Russia, as he blames the West's misguided response to Moscow's operation in Ukraine for high inflation. But it's fine to give all these dish the blame out here and there. The reality is the European economy is fucked beyond repair, basically, and the people are going to suffer. And don't forget that immigrant time bomb in their midst. That thing is going to explode. The head of the Hungarian Foreign Ministry said that his country will reach an agreement with Gazprom on increasing gas supplies from September. Only one sane government I can name in the EU who is looking after its people, and that is very true. And here we get to that what a fuck moment. Look at this shit. CIA plane crashes with 4 tons of cocaine. It seems that one of the CIA prison planes has been in a little accident. It crash-landed in Mexico on the way to the US. The authorities were more than a little surprised when they found 4 tons of cocaine on board. As usual, the media overlooks it. The pilots disappeared and the CIA refuses to comment. And there you have it. That CIA needs to be disbanded. And on that news, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.